Imagine for a moment, or the next few minutes, that I am Simon Peter. I know I don't look like a fisherman. Here's my net, though. It's a little net. It probably wouldn't have been big enough for the fish that we got back in that day. Here's some fish. Again, not as many fish as I caught. I, Simon Peter, have a word for you today. A word and some imaginings as well. After all these years, I am old now. I still wonder why it was me. Why it was me who Jesus called. Why it was me, out of all the other fishermen that were there, that Jesus got in the boat with. Why me, a sinner, a man like Isaiah of unclean lips, a nobody? You see, we had been out all night. That was often when we fished. I was tired, ready to go home. We were minding our own business, washing the nets. It had been a bad night. We hadn't caught a single thing. And sometimes the nights were bad, but never that bad. We were empty-handed. And one bad night wouldn't ruin my family, but it certainly would put a strain on it. And so I was a little afraid and a little worried, on top of being tired that morning. Started to wonder, what would the next night be like? If I tried so hard and caught nothing this night, would tomorrow be any better? So I'm thinking about all this, and I'm worrying some while I'm focusing on the nets. But there's all this commotion around me. There's that man on the beach, Jesus, and a whole crowd around him. I'm just trying to get home, but my attention is kind of piqued. My curiosity sparked. This man, you see, healed my mother-in-law. She was very sick, and he came, and she was healed and got right up to serve, as she had always done. It was amazing. And we didn't really know what to make of it, but we knew that something was happening. This Jesus guy, who is he? How does this man heal? What's he doing? What's he come to tell us? So all this is strange, and I've got questions, but I'm only kind of paying attention. I'm tired. But then the man, Jesus, walks up to my boat, and he gets in. He motions to me to come and to row out to the deep water. Now, I said to Jesus, you know, we were out all last night and didn't catch a single thing. But still, I went. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why, but it made sense. As soon as Jesus looked at me, something in me shifted. Suddenly, I was awake and alert. And it was like he knew me, and I knew him, and always had. I knew he was someone to listen to. I had seen him heal my mother-in-law, but it was more than that in that moment. It was something like, I don't even know, like his soul calling out to mine. Getting in that boat just made sense, deep down in my spirit, even though it didn't make any logical sense. So we rowed out back to the deep water, and I listened I listened to Jesus when he told me to put down the nets again. Like I said, I wondered about it. This really wasn't logically sensible, but it still seemed like I should do it. And so I did. I was amazed at how much fish there were. And it wasn't just that, it was his presence. It was who he was there in the boat with me. We were all so amazed. We all wondered, what's going on here? We went back to shore, and as we did, the man said, "Don't be afraid. From now on, you will fish for people." I had no idea what he meant by that, but I wanted to find out. Fish for people. Who would have thought? I wanted more than anything to learn from Jesus, to go with him, to go and be his disciple, to follow him wherever it would lead. Because I felt like he was someone I had been waiting for my whole life, but hadn't known it. Following him, as I said, just made sense. We left all that fish on the shore. It didn't bother me at all. There were people there, and they would take it, and they would eat it, and I got to follow Jesus. It was the thing to do. It made everything else in my life fall into place. I didn't care anymore that I was tired, for suddenly I had hope. I had a mission in life, I had purpose. And I had this person who I knew me and loved me no matter what. Years and years went by. I, Simon Peter, saw Jesus to the horrible end. I denied him 3 times while he was suffering after he had been arrested. And still, Jesus never let me go. I became the rock on which his church was built. That's what he said. I learned to preach and heal, and one day, long after Jesus was gone back to be with God, I received an amazing vision of God's mission to the Gentiles, the outsiders. I lived my life as a disciple with all the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys, and all my mistakes, and too, all the hard work and all that God did through me. I still can't believe that all of that was my life. Me, a nobody, a sinner, a fisherman. And it could have been so different if I had walked away from Jesus. I have wondered all these years, why me? I still can't tell you why. I was really no different from many other fishermen. But what I can tell you is this: God takes ordinary people, broken people, sinful people, and those may be his best disciples. I saw Jesus call people like me again and again, and I still see it. The other thing I know is that Jesus, that man who called out to me, who said, "Go to the deep water," I would go there still for him. I would go to the deep water because there was something about him. Have you seen it? Have you felt it? I hope so, because it's the most amazing feeling in the world. Jesus died horribly, and I have a feeling for me, Simon Peter, things will not end well. But even knowing how it would all end for him and for me, I would go again to the deep water and follow him with all that I have, because he is love and he is grace. and it has been work my whole life. So what about you? Will you follow like I did? Will you learn from him? Will you even make mistakes for him in your quest to learn? Will you preach and heal and teach? Will you reach out to the outsiders? Will you row out to the deep water and cast down your nets and see what the catch might be?